When it comes to playoff goaltenders, Grant Fuhr's reputation is larger than life. It has been said the critical goal is the one Fuhr will not allow. He likes that reputation. The Canadiens' Patrick Roy, with each arrival on game day, his confidence grows. Roy claims to be second to none, not even to Fuhr. Game 1 of the Adams final had Patrick true to his word. 35 pucks, 32 rejected. Fuhr, too, was strong in the Buffalo net, but he faced less offense from Montreal. Thoughtful times for a goalie coming off a layoff. How sharp was this critical Sabre? Fuhr stopped 19 Canadiens' chances. His good work on other nights might have been good enough. But Patrick Roy oozed confidence in the friendly confines of the Forum. 4-3 Montreal, and a last-minute victory over Alexander the Great. Roy claims the first bragging rights instead of Grant Fuhr.
Well, first of all, I don't try to make any comparison with anybody when I play a game. The most important thing for me, it's made the key saves and help my team to win games. What people say or what people think, I got no control on that. And the only thing I control, it's what happened when I'm on the ice and what I could do to help my team. And that's what it's important for Patrick Roy.
I think game 1 was kind of a feeling out period where I hadn't played in 8 days. It don't look like I hadn't played in 8 days. I made some good saves, but I gave up some goals I don't normally give up. So, you can't really be happy. You end up losing 4-3. So anytime you lose, you can't really be happy with the way things went. We look at it kind of like it's a 7-round battle. So far, Patrick's won round 1, but it's a long fight. So, there'll be a lot of fun left yet.
The Forum in Montreal, where Grant Fuhr and Patrick Roy will stand at either end of this historic ice surface. They will be some 200 feet apart. And yet in the heat of playoff battle, Fuhr and Roy are meeting face-to-face for the very first time. In many ways, the outcome of this Adams final depends very much on them. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC in the 1993 Stanley Cup playoffs. At the Forum in Montreal, I'm Scott Russell. Well, this is a tremendous matchup between goaltenders, Patrick Roy and Grant Fuhr. Between them, they have 133 playoff wins, and much of this series will depend on those two goaltenders. Now, one of the things that is very important about the National Hockey League today is that Dale Hunter has been suspended for 21 games for his infraction against Pierre Turgeon. And joining me now is Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the National Hockey League, who suspended Dale Hunter today and just arrived at the Forum. Mr. Bettman, your reasoning behind the suspension: it is the most severe suspension for an on-ice infraction in NHL history.
Well, I think this was an incident that needed to be severely punished. We wanted to send a message out, a deterrence, if you will, that this type of conduct isn't going to be tolerated in the NHL.
How about Mario Lemieux? He is not in the lineup again tonight, so we hear, for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That has to hurt the National Hockey League to have a marquee player out like that.
Well, obviously, when you have any great player in any sport that's not available to his team, it hurts. Hopefully Mario will be back soon, but this is a league of a lot of great players, and one of the jobs I have to do when we're not worried about supplementary discipline is telling the world how great our players are and getting fans interested in watching our players and our great game.
Now, a very happy task for you, Mr. Bettman, to see the Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens tonight. What do you expect? Oh,
it's always great to come to the Forum, and I'm looking forward to an exciting game that people at home on television and in the Forum are going to enjoy.
Mr. Bettman, thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
On the Canadiens bench there, he was celebrating last night. Who will celebrate tonight as the Sabres and Canadiens get set for extra time? Muller and Lafontaine. So Pat Lafontaine, the Sabre captain, does start the sudden death overtime period for Buffalo. A 3-3 tie. This the 16th overtime game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Muller in the corner. Kirk Muller with some room, slides it in front. Fuhr down. Muller looks for the loose puck, and Buffalo clears. Close call right away, and now Mogilny back. Alexander Mogilny, Brad May. His shot blocked by Brisebois. Brisebois around the board. Šmehlík moving right in. Keeps it in the zone for Buffalo. Ledyard on the other side, pinching. Muller tripped up, can't clear it. Now the Canadiens get it to center. And Sutton to the line. Sutton can't get through the defense, and here's Muller with Benoît Brunet. Knocked down by Ledyard. Khmylev crashing into the boards. And it's cleared behind the goal for Sutton. Keane bumps into him, and the Sabres clear to center. Daigneault fires it back around the boards. Sutton against DiPietro. Keane looking for a loose puck. Mogilny there. Sweeney against Keane. And they tie it up for a face-off. A minute 17 gone in the overtime period.
Might have been confusing to someone just tuning in for our Adams flashback, wondering what the heck was going on with the Canadiens at home against Buffalo. But that was 2 and 3 years ago. It's 3-3 here. Here's one for you. The first time these teams played in overtime in the playoffs, April 1st, 1973. Buffalo won in this building, and the winning goal was scored by René Robert. The French connection connected. Here's a chance for the Canadiens, who almost connected in the first 30 seconds of this overtime. Fuhr down, a couple of others down, and they couldn't poke it home.
DiPietro, Keane, and Damphousse.
I mentioned Chris Lafontaine did play and started. He was lying on Kirk Muller when all that wild scramble was taking place in the Buffalo zone.
Sweeney and DiPietro on the draw. Šmehlík around the boards. There's Khmylev. 6 points in the Boston series. Nice pass on the tape to Sweeney. Shot in. Handled easily by Patrick Roy. DiPietro. Nifty pass to Keane. And Daigneault. Fuhr out of the goal, stops it for Bodger. Šmehlík. Hannan. And here's Big Bob Sweeney. He won game 1 for Buffalo against Boston. Shot goes well wide and ricochets out to center ice. Bodger. Off the boards past Odelein. Down into the Montreal zone as the Sabres make a change. Hawerchuk's on the ice with Randy Wood and Bob Errey. Kept in at the line by Sutton. Weak shot and gloved by Patrick. He'll take no chances in sudden death.
Bob Errey with some hustle for Buffalo deep in the Canadian zone. Forced a couple of quick turnovers by Montreal defensemen. Jacques Demers' team, as Chris mentioned, winning twice in overtime against Quebec, and John Muckler's team won 3 times in overtime against the Boston Bruins. The Buffalo people will tell you, everybody talks about the sweep of the Bruins, but don't forget, folks, 3 of those games went into OT, including the last one in dramatic fashion at the Odd, where we'll be 2 nights from now, 7:30 Eastern, with Game 3.
Dale Hawerchuk will take this face-off against Guy Carbonneau. 2 great veterans. Carbonneau wins the draw. The former Sabre hauler around the board. Sutton keeps it in again. His shot off of Brisebois. There's Hawerchuk in front. Wood. He's knocked down. Loose puck. Patrick kicks it out. Not a good shot on the Canadiens goaltender, but Buffalo trying to maintain the pressure. Wood shot. Stopped by Brisebois, and out come the Canadiens. A lead pass for Sabres. Just a stride too far. Carney battling for it. They go crashing in. Ronan and Carney. Here's a loose puck. Sabres to Carbonneau. They score! Guy Carbonneau wins it for Montreal. You have got to give Ed Ronan a big credit for this one when he wiped out the icing by beating Carney to the puck, and the play stayed alive to set up the goal by Guy Carbonneau, and the Canadiens take a 2-0 lead in the series. And Dick Denny Savard with his 2nd assist of the game. So the Canadiens keep the win streak alive and the winning streak at home. They won 4 straight against Quebec. They've won the first 2 of the Adams final. Guy Carbonneau with his first goal of the series. Canadiens win 4-3.